with everything in the therapy arena. It's recycled in a different manner. Corky. We're also going to skip that because we basically talked about the cycle stuff in more depth than I intended to earlier. All that really was anyway was an example of how much good wedge you can learn from that. Right, getting on to actual real life examples. Yeah, we've got some time here. If you can see from there, this is me with rather a lot more hair, thinking I look cool in a leather jacket with a kind of 1960s shirt with a polo neck coming about 8 foot, total tosser. But, you know, I thought, yes, I've got to make myself look older. The hair's long, slicked over. I mean, this is like, chances of trapping off Friday night, no chance. But there again, you have to bear in mind, I said I was 18, no I wasn't, I was 16, so that would be 80, 85, 99. This was 1991. And the general perception is that you've kind of got to be like 18 or 21 to be a therapist. So obviously I lied about my age and tried to make myself look a bit. And I just walked in, didn't even bother with the press release. I didn't know how to put a press release together then. I just walked in to the Rochdale newspapers, Rochdale Observer's offices. I said, can I see a journalist, please? I said, no, see a journalist, I've got a story for you. And there's me, more arrogance than anything, I think. I lost the plot. But anyway, out comes the journalist. Yeah, what is it? And I'd just seen, that's why it definitely was 1991 that it got shown on BBC One, Your Life in Their Hands, Alex-Leroy. I'd just seen that programme. I thought, I can do that. I sussed it out. Because at the end of the day, the needle through hand gimmicky thing to prove it, which is a thing that yogis, fire eaters have been doing on circus for years. Well, hey, I was born on circus, so I kind of knew how to do that. And I'll be teaching you that tomorrow. I thought, I can fucking do that. It's a piece of piss. So I went to the paper and I told them that I'd just finished, and I'll read it out here. Hayward hypnotist Alex-Leroy believes his newest skill, I was called Alex-Leroy then, by the way, in case you hadn't guessed. His newest skill, and this was the spin on it, something serious. This made front page, by the way. His newest skill could be used to help cancer sufferers. You've got their attention now. Headline from hypnotism to healing. You've got their attention, now you've got their interest. According to Alex, pictured above at one of his hypnotism sessions, this is where I fell into the trap of them saying get the next door neighbour to pose for a picture. What I was telling you about before, don't do it because they're crap photographers and you end up looking, like, as if you didn't look a wanker there, even worse. You posed the picture. According to Alex, pictured above at one of his hypnotism sessions, noisy therapy is a method of relieving pain and helping cure patients without before resorting to medicines or hypnotherapy. He says that by using very simple techniques, he can help people overcome pain with their minds and help to heal themselves. And he claims the treatment's pioneer, Dr. Angel Escudero, has helped a woman give birth without her feeling any pain, sawn a man's leg off without anaesthetic, and treated cancer and AIDS patients. Well, if he claims, I told him where to get the proof, that shows you how fucking lazy local journalists can be. Sooner than checking it was real and then saying it's already happened, they just printed what I told them, and just to cover themselves, just in case, but he claimed. That's how lazy local journalists are, that's why it's so easy to get in the bloody local papers. And this is me quoting, I've been practicing hypnotherapy with some success for quite a while now, and last February, so it would have been 1990 then, the Escudero thing, I saw a BBC documentary programme on Dr. Escudero, Alex recalled. At first I was extremely sceptical, but by the end of it, I was hooked. Here was a method of treatment that was not only completely revolutionary, but also very simple. He explained that therapy is based on the principle of mind over matter, and that by triggering off a response in the brain, it's possible to relieve pain and to put the body into attack mode to fight diseases like cancer. I am not saying this is an alternative to, for example, chemotherapy. Any of you done NLP? You see, they're quoting me word for word there. What's that actually? That should, if you believe in NLP, I am not saying this is an alternative to, for example, chemotherapy. And I took word for word what I said. That's actually saying this is an alternative to chemotherapy, without making any ludicrous claims, but that's the way it will be perceived. That was a bit fucking unethical on my part at the time. But hey, I was young, I get away with it. I wanted to, I knew I could do it, so there you go. But NLP can be used in some. But those are tried and tested methods of treatment. But this can go alongside them and increase the patient's own ability to fight disease. Alex was taught noisy therapy by one of Dr. Escudero's former pupils and sat exams at a college in Derbyshire, which enabled him to become a full-time practitioner. Fucking didn't. I printed my own diploma out. I saw the programme on TV. This is a real medical breakthrough, one that could change the way people feel about treatment, and if GPs were willing to learn it, could revolutionise healthcare. He explained that it could also be used to help people overcome phobias such as needles and going to the dentist. If their brain can be told that they will not feel pain, then they will not feel pain. That can only be good for both doctors and dentists, and of course patients. Alex added that because he expected people to be wary, overcome the objection before it's an objection, he was prepared to offer the treatment free for a month. If anyone wants the treatment, I'm available each day from Wednesday to Saturday. Once people try it, we'll soon find out it works. Alex can be contacted on the telephone number. Fucking perfect example of everything I've been going on about this morning that I did when I was 16 years old. The 16-year-old kid who, quite frankly, even with the hair like that, is definitely not 18, can walk in, not send a press release, but physically walk in the office, talk to the journalist, and get the fucking thing in print. I'm damn certain every one of you is capable of doing that. I certainly know for a fact Frank is, because he's already done it. He's shown me the results from the last seminar. You can do it. And all the things I was saying before about association is worded in such a way people perceive. I mean, I went a bit more direct there, so I've been at a college, but if they turn around and said, where is this college in Derby? Oh, well, the guy who took me down there was another therapist. He's actually gone abroad for a few months. Tell a bit of a lie. Lie. Sales is lying at the end of the day. It only becomes honest when the people find that what they bought was worth for them. Then it becomes honest. To get them to buy it in the first place, it's lies. Okay, that was just an example of something I did, which again was at the age of 16 when I bought a half share in a flipping New Age shop. I was doing tarot reading in there, that's the only reason I put money into it. Thought, oh, local newspaper again, no. Exhausted hypno-angles, I mean there's millions of these. If I was here all day showing you the stuff I did when I was 16, you need 3 days for that. Destiny for Sale, I just went on about tarot reading, but you know, I will psychically define what's wrong with you and then treat you with hypnosis. They fucking run the article, I get clients coming in the shop, but what's the fucking point? I mean, the fact is people fell for it, came and paid to be diagnosed psychically, and then paid to be treated, but hang on a minute, wouldn't it have just been cheaper for them and easier just for them to tell me what was wrong? But that's just it. And then a story, a business idea that can make you a lot of money doesn't necessarily have to be logical. In fact, the really illogical things can sometimes be the ones that make you the most money. Because the fact they seem so illogical and bizarre, almost in a reverse psychological way, lends more credibility to. Because for fuck's sake, somebody of your age, my age, looking smart, isn't seriously going to go to a newspaper and claim to do that, are they? Or go on a TV show saying that they do that? Surely not. I know it sounds a bit daft, but no, it's so stupid that it's got to be true. How many times have you said that watching a TV programme? Fact is, when you say that, it probably is bullshit. But it's so obviously bullshit that many people come to believe it must be real. And then amongst you want the money off. Okay. Actually, the other way, this is fuck all to do with me, but it's something I thought would be worthwhile examples for you guys. Last week, my local newspaper had this in: sky's the limit, even if you're afraid of flying. Think about Richard Branson. Goes on to mention David Landau, well-known psychotherapist, hypnotherapist, trainer, did stuff with Neil French. I promoted a lot of his seminars back in 1990 for him. Yes, he allowed a 16-year-old to actually promote his seminars for it. Work that one out. Sky's the limit, even if you're afraid of flying. Virgin are now doing these courses, which on a one-to-one basis are £1,995 plus VAT. Separately, it's about 249 quid plus VAT, but they're going to have like 500 people in the room at a time. They're doing it 8 times a year. The bunging David Landau, a nice good bung. Don't know what, I haven't asked him, but it'll be sizable, knowing David. And then the rest of the money's theirs. But obviously their main motivation for doing it is, if we get rid of people's flying phobias, and it's Virgin that have helped them do that, then they're going to book Virgin flights when they go on holiday because now they've got phobia. What's to stop you fucking doing that but approaching Stavros Sterville, whatever his flaming name is, from EasyJet? He loves publicity. It's EasyJet this, EasyJet that, easy bloody finance. He loves publicity, go to him. He's got planes as well, you can sit them on while you do the hypnotherapy session. You can nick an idea and just go to the competition company and say, look, they're making money out of it, getting PR. Why don't we do it? Except we'll do it slightly better. You quite blatantly just nick ideas and do them better. Yeah, sorry, Frank.
I was going to say, I've already approached Virgin regarding fear of flying courses, and I've got a polite reply back that they've got counsellors and psychologists already in situ.
Well,
doing
it's
it. So
David Lander.
that door is pretty much closed.
Yeah, well,
so it'll have to be somebody
yeah, well, it's David Lander. Which then triggered a memory. Ah, yeah, I saw some on telly a few years back, and then that led me to the idea of hypnotising animals, which is something we'll be covering later. But what was it? Oh yeah, it was a guy called Robert Farrago. He was on This Morning. He was doing the Friendly Spider programme at London Zoo. Now, it's not Robert who's doing it anymore. It's a guy who I've never heard of before, actually, John Clifford. Obviously some guy in London. Can't believe Robert's gone back to the States. If you want to check, incidentally, if you want to check this article out at home, it's www.flyingwithoutfear.info. And you can basically nick their sales letter, just reword it enough so that it's not obvious you've stolen it, but insert the name of EasyJet and approach EasyJet or approach British Midlands International. There's more than enough airlines. There's no reason why, in fact, every one of you in here couldn't become a resident hypnotherapist for a different airline. So don't ever let the idea that you've just seen something in the paper that someone else is doing, don't think, fucking hell, I wish I'd thought of that. What a good idea. Don't let that put you off. Because they've already done some of the legroom work for you. Nick the idea, change the name, alter it a little bit, put your own little spin on it, and do exactly the same thing. So London Zoo, www.londonzoo.com, Friendly Spider programme, which I did make a note of the price, but I do recall it's somewhere in the region of £167 plus VAT per person. They actually put the schedule on there of what takes place at what times where. So it's, in other words, a step-by-step guide to people like yourself to model it and do it in a similar time scale in that order, because obviously it works very well for London Zoo. So why shouldn't it for Knowsley Safari Park? Or why shouldn't it for a very large aquatic and pet supply centre in the centre of Manchester that wants publicity for its business? So it's offering free cure your fear of spider treatment to people who go to the store, but obviously they then got to pay you a flat fee for the day that you were there. But they pay you perhaps a flat fee for the 2 hours that you're there of, what's realistic, £5 Okay, I'm sure you'd be happy with £5 for 2 hours, but you tell them that, you know, at the end of the day, this is going to get them paid write-ups in all the local papers, it's going to get them on the radio, it's going to get them on TV, which we'll discuss how to do that later. So for £5, they're not just getting 2 hours of your time, they're getting all this publicity that if they paid for it, would cost them 30, 40, 50, they couldn't afford that amount of publicity. So that is what's in it for them. What's in it for you? £5, thank you very much. And oh, just a minute, your photo will be all over the articles as well. So you're getting paid to create publicity for your own business. I can't think of a better scenario than that. And then I came across this in the wife's, one of these women's magazines. www.illumine.co.uk, that's ILLUMINE. They're charging £464, I assume plus that, per day. Should have been 467 really, but there you go. For speed reading courses. Now, a good magazine journalist tend to be a lot more in-depth than newspaper journalists. They will go over it in depth, look at it, and they'd be able to take the day's speed reading seminar and probably in those 2 pages that's supposed to be a review, you would have learned everything of worth that you would end up finding out if you went on the seminar. So, basically, speed reading, here you go. Back skipping and ruler. Instead of reading a book like that, left to right, which actually then you go back up and you look again, and then that's the way people do it, go back to how kids do it with a ruler. So you can only see 1 line at a time, you focus. Apparently that speeds you up. Yes, it does, that's how I've been doing it. I mean, I read this and I thought I've been doing this for years anyway. Rapid browsing. Take 10 minutes to look through the entire book. The moment you see anything, a heading or a word that catches your attention, that you're interested in, post-it note it. Then afterwards go back and read the bits that interest you, not the rest. Read at arm's length, because then you've got peripheral vision instead of just being in, you taking more of the page. Yeah, you do, but this is all common sense. Break every 20 to 40 minutes, because you remember most of what's at the beginning and the end. Yeah, they teach you this at school, actually. And then I thought you could put a spin on it by adding a Hypno Mind program, which apparently these guys don't do, of relax. Every time you're reading, you're an anchor, you know, you'll be in a receptive state of mind and all this stuff. Basically, those few points there, with plenty of bullshit that I'm sure you can create, you can do a 1-day speed reading course. And there's evidently money in it, because it's jumping up all over the bleeding place. Bizarre, oh.